Okay. Alright, sorry, I was just reviewing to make sure that there wasn't anything extra added in this. Alright. I will. Okay, nobody else. Julia, can you hear me? Your thing is kind of frozen, so I just want to make sure.
I can hear you, but it's like kind of staticky sometimes.
Well,
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing too.
huh. It's strange. I can hear you guys just fine.
It's clear right now. I don't know.
Okay. Try not to do anything different. Let's sit really still. Okay. So in plain English, know the laws governing the profession and the population served. Okay, and the case is program evaluation in the TR department had become a time-consuming, very involved process which did not lead to program change or innovation. As a recreation therapist involved in the process, I expressed my concerns to the TR manager. I felt that the program evaluation was important, but the process was cumbersome, time-consuming, and not seen as yielding any value for the practitioners or the customers served. I had heard a number of complaints from other recreation therapists regarding this process as well. Okay, so what's the behavior?
So the behavior is probably like I feel like what she's getting at is that she wants to not do the program evaluation anymore. So that's like a big part of the of TR, like that's the E and API. So like I think that it's like her behavior is that she doesn't see the point of the E and API, and I'm guessing like that what she wants to get rid of it for their facility.
Yeah, I think she either wants to get rid of it or she just feels like something has to change.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I just see her, like, the point is too time consuming, too big, but yield very, very low. So maybe she doesn't have an idea of what she was different, but something. Okay, does somebody want to say determine professional relevance?
I can take that one. Well, I think you mentioned it already, or maybe you did, Stephanie, just about how the evaluation process is so important in TR, and that if you're not evaluating, nothing's really going to happen. Like people are just doing things, nothing's changing, and so I think it's important that as a TR and as a TR team, they figure out how to make the evaluation work for them, because that's definitely, like one of you was saying, it's part of the API process, and so you kind of have to have that as if you're gonna.
Okay. Yeah. I agree. I think that, like, she says that, let's see, what does it say? She felt the program evaluation was important. So she sees the importance of it, that it's like a major part, and I think we all feel like the point of evaluation is so that we can grow and improve, but she's not seeing that. See, personal and professional values. Anybody want to take a stab at that one? I think that was kind of a tricky one for this case study.
I can do it. So, personal values and ideas. I think personally, she thinks the evaluations aren't working. It doesn't like say that she has any like data to prove like professionally that they're not working or that something needs to change. I think right now it's like a personal feeling, and like personally, others have like said other things as well. So it is an issue, but it's the way that they're going around it, I feel like it's very personal. And then like professionally, I think she wants a program that is, I think she wants to create a program that is beneficial for her clients. And so to do that, I think some changes need to be made. And I think that's kind of what she's trying to get at. Like, something needs to happen, like something needs to be changed to create a better program. And professionally, I think that's what needs to happen. Like they need to like reevaluate their process and like what's working and what's not working.
Yeah. So maybe a personal value is that the time, she believes that the time put into it isn't equaling positive outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't necessarily have like professional data.
Yeah.
To support that right now. Right now it's just.
Yeah, because like she doesn't have anything saying like what they're doing is like negatively affecting the client. Like if she starts like putting data in saying like we've been doing this and we're seeing these results, and she's able to like collect that, I feel like that would make it very professional, because you're able to like go to superiors with like, here, look, this is what I have. And this is like what I've been recording and like how I'm able to do that. And the evaluation process does allow that to happen. If that's like the right evaluation process, and like the right like standards have to be kept. Like if they're doing it the proper way, they should be able to see either a negative or positive trend in the data. And if they don't, then there's something wrong with either the way the staff are like putting their time into it. Because what if like there could be a chance that they're getting negative data because all the staff are negative, like, or being negative about like, I don't want to take these evaluations, it's whatever, like not like being interested. I don't know.
Oh, that's a good point.
So.
Thank you. Okay, consider legal duties. Oh, I think this one rides a lot on legality, because evaluation requires a lot of like documentation, and documentation is vital. If anything legal comes up, for like if anyone's suing anybody, or just what's required of us as a profession to show our results, to show support for our program, for needing budget, needing, so I think huge for legal reasons. Obviously we can't cut this out. Like I don't think the solution we come to at the end of this is going to be that it gets cut out. I think it just needs obviously adjusted.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Any other comments on legal duties? I don't know a ton of like, this is why I really like listening to the teacher, because I don't know a lot of like legal stuff about our profession to really pinpoint certain things that would come into play.
I think that's kind of the point of this one, is like to have you understand more, but it's hard with like so little information.
Yeah.
Because like it says to like when you're doing like when you're creating these programs and stuff, you need to like know the laws behind your profession and then the laws behind your population. It's like what you're able to do with like different people.
Yeah, and I think that you touched on it really well also, Stephanie, when you said like about the documentation. Like documentation is really what protects us in our field, and so if we skip a step, like every step has been carefully thought out and like implemented for a reason, and there's tons and tons of research on every single step. And so if you just skip a step in the process, like that's all that information that you're not going to be able to present if legal action comes against you in some.
Yeah. So true. Okay, and then we move into the ethical obligation. Ooh. I think for most of our case studies, ethics lines up with the legal duties, but this one, I feel like ethically, if I was this recreation therapist, you know, obviously the time consuming is a huge deal to her, and I can feel that. You know, I can understand if I was spending so much time on paperwork and evaluating people. Like for example, like for the group that the agency that I've been doing my hours for and doing the lesson plans and stuff, the people that are usually in there working with this group, they have to like record in each person's notebook at every class hour. And while I'm doing the lesson, like this other person can easily spend the entire time writing in this notebook. And it's for like documentation, evaluation reasons. Sure that they like don't spend all the time if they're in charge of the lesson if I wasn't there. But I've just noticed this takes a lot of time, and I could easily see how that could be like, but I'm not doing, I could spend more time on the class, on the lesson, getting a point across, doing these activities, but instead I'm doing this. So I feel like ethically, I would feel like I'm not giving my client the time that they need because of this paperwork. So that's one ethical thing I can see from this. What do you think?
But I also feel like ethically you need to document what your client, like what's happening with your client, because if you don't document it, it didn't happen. So like you have like this like, scale of like how much do I document, how much do I like, so you can like find balance for it. But you have to have both of them. You can't just have one or the other, because then like everything you do goes to waste, because you're not able to show like anything could have caused them to change. You could be like, you never know. So
Yeah.
if you're not like saying like we did this and saw this, they could just be like, oh, their parents taught it to them. The therapist didn't do anything. You never know.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
I know, like at one of my places that I looked at to do an internship also, like their actual program running time was only from 3:30 to 5:30 every day, but all of the morning was spent like planning and doing documentation and stuff like that. And so I feel like at most facilities, they'll give you time to do documentation. Like they can't just expect you to do it never, you know? And so to have scheduled time where that's what you're supposed to be doing and then to not do it, I feel like that's almost like an ethical thing too. Like you're employed to work there, but you're not using that time for what it is. Like you think it could be spent better elsewhere. Like, if that's the case, then like, and I guess this will go into the end when it says like, what do you want to do? But if that's the case, then maybe you can think of a different like format to put your notes in or your documentation that's like faster. Like, instead of handwriting everything, you type it all, or instead of typing everything, like you do talk to text. So I feel like there's if you feel like you need more time to be doing other things, then you need to think of a way to be more efficient with the time you've been given to do this thing.
I think that's really good.
I don't know if that.
No, I think that's a good suggestion. I think the talk to text, I think that will make these things go by faster. I also liked what Rachel said earlier about gathering data to take to someone to show that this isn't being very effective. Because I think, and this is something that I've learned from Sister Greenwood. You can take a complaint to her any day, but if you want her to really listen to you, you need to bring something to back it up or a solution that you think might work. And I think that goes for any supervisor. You know, anybody can complain, but if you want real change, and if you go to them with the intent of change, you need to bring data or bring a solution or whatnot. So I really liked that.
Just because everything, like TR is a very evidence-based practice. So everything we do is evidence-based: planning, assessing, implementation, evaluation. And so if something needs to be changed with how facility is evaluating, like it only makes sense to have the research to back it up. And if other people are having the same problems, like if it's just you or I, and then it's like, okay, what do we need to change? But if it's a bigger scale, then things need to change.
Okay, so what do we think that this rec therapist should do? What's more of a detailed plan of action?
I think she could take the evaluation that she has now and like take it to a supervisor and say, we are not being able to like see results with this evaluation. Or like you look over like what we're doing, is like what we're doing effective, or like being able to see, like showing someone else like, okay, what are we doing that's wrong with this? Like either we're not evaluating them properly, or this evaluation method isn't working for what we're trying to find. And like I think that information there could like being able to talk to someone who's actually able to like, but we think this evaluation will be able to help better than this one. So going in with like a backup, like how Julia was saying, so that like you're not just going and saying, okay, this doesn't work, fix it, but you have like a plan to fix it. And the supervisor might have a better plan, but yeah, it doesn't hurt. But yeah, I don't think they need to get rid of the evaluation. I think they just need to find a new evaluation.
Yeah.
Either like a different way of doing it, or like a more standardized way of doing it. Because maybe the evaluation is fine. It's just like they're not doing it the right way. So you never know.
Hey, maybe that's a point that we haven't even thought about. Maybe they just don't understand. Maybe there's something they're not doing that they're making it harder on themselves.
Yeah, like if the facility have like a template, like that was their standard. And maybe like usually I don't feel like facilities come up with a brand new activity every single day. Like there are activities that they're familiar with or whatever. And so maybe they can have like a template for when the group goes skiing, and then they just fill out all the new information rather than like what the activity was and how long it takes to drive there or whatever. I don't know, but like have an activity template and then just document from that.
It's a good suggestion. I like that. Okay. Well, I think we have covered all of these bullet points. So, and then, so as the last of this instructions, it says to give everybody a few minutes to allow the group members to thank one another and say goodbye. So long, farewell. But
I didn't realize this was the last one.
I know.
Well, next week's the last week.
We've made it, girls.
That's true.